Welcome everyone to the Maldon and Tiptree Director of Football Challenge. So you might be wondering two things: who are Maldon and Tiptree and what is a Director of Football Challenge? So to answer the first question, Maldon and Tiptree are a club in the Isthmian League Division 1 North. That is the tier 8 of English football. So you've got the top 4, which is the AFL, your National League and your National League North, which is 5 and 6, and then tier 7 is the Isthmian Premier Division, and the one below that is where this club lie. And the interesting thing about this club is they are one of the richest teams down in non-league. Their owners have put significant money into the club to invest into the playing squad and the facilities, and they are looking to go as far as possible up the league system. And to answer the second question, the Director of Football Challenge, this will be a multi-season challenge where we plan to take Maldon and Tiptree all the way from tier 8 all the way to the Premier League. The Director of Football aspect of it means we will play no games whatsoever. I will only be responsible for bringing in transfers, for selling players, for bringing in staff, and for making sure the squad is as good as possible. I will not be personally managing any of the games. That is going to go down to the assistant manager, who will in effect be the real manager of the club. My goal is to just give them the best squad possible and let the results be the results. I cannot do tactics. I can't do set pieces. I can't do anything. I can literally set the team up in no way, shape or form. I am only here for transfers and to manage the club in terms of the playing staff off the pitch, but in terms of what they do on it, that is totally out of my hands. So the way the series will work is it will be one season per video. We are in tier 8, and the goal with the prediction to finish first is to finish first. That will be automatic promotion into tier 7, and that has to be the goal. We've been appointed, but obviously I am just the Director of Football. I am not the manager. We will need to appoint ourselves a proper assistant manager who will be taking the reign of the games themselves. So we are in the building as Director of Football. We need to analyse the squad, see where we can make improvements. We are allowed to make transfers in this first season, but with a prediction of first in the league table, we probably don't need to do a whole lot this season. So as you can see, we have delegated the handling of team selection to the assistant manager, Ryan O'Raw. He might not be the assistant manager forever, but he is the one that's in the building now. We're going to give him the chance to manage the club. But obviously one of our parts of the job as Director of Football is to appoint someone who's going to get results. If results aren't going the way they should be going with the team we've got, then we'll need to look at this and maybe bring in a different assistant manager. But we're going to give him the chance originally and see how he gets on. But that is definitely the main thing that we need to make sure we've got always delegated is this, because that is the essence of the DOF challenge. So I've gone through all the responsibilities, and basically anything that's off the pitch I'm taking charge of with the first team. In terms of under 21s, under 18s, I couldn't really care less about that. But in terms of the first team, I'm doing everything. And then in terms of everything on the pitch, so things like match day, set pieces, tactics, that's all down to the assistant manager. So I'm totally hands off. I cannot influence it at all. All I can do is put the tactic in the game suggests, quick pick each game if I have to. Otherwise, it should be the assistant manager. I don't know how this works when it leads up to, I think he can only make suggestions, and basically what I have to do is just accept his suggestion every single time. If there's injured players and I need to replace them, then I guess we'll just use the quick pick button, and that's going to be the closest thing we can do to emulate a Director of Football mode in this game. So here is the team as it stands. This is what we are inheriting. And as you can see, there's a big difference in the top quality of the teams and the bottom quality of the team. There are some very good players at the club, and there's some very mid players at the club. But as you can see, there is a handful of players that are on good contracts as well. The goalkeeper is on a grand a week in tier 8. There is some serious money being thrown around. He is a 4-star player, which actually means he's a good National League player. So he's actually a tier 5 level player playing down in tier 8. You may recognise some other names as well. We've got Macaulay Bonne as the striker, a 29-year-old leading National League player. He is someone that was scoring goals regularly in League 2. Well, it was actually League 1 quite a while ago. He's actually been without the goals in a little while, but recently, but obviously dropping down this low, he should be well within the goals. Another big player for us is Tom Eastman. He's a 33-year-old centre-back. He is a good National League player as well. Very important part of the squad. Gary Hooper as well, Celtic and Norwich man. He is in for a one-year deal, a leading National League North-South player. Obviously, lots of goals pretty much wherever he's gone. But he's probably the one who's probably the least unbelievable to be at this level. He's obviously still playing quite regularly and has been sort of dropping down the leagues as you go. So he's really not a crazy one, but he is probably still far too good for tier 8. We've got Cameron James. He's a 27-year-old English DM right back. He can kind of do it all. A leading National League North-South player. So again, 3 tiers below where he should be. Terrell Eggsbury is a 24-year-old English winger. 3.5 stars of current ability. He's a leading National League North-South player. He's actually on a non-contract. So there is one thing we've got to consider at this level. Whilst we do have some players tied down on deals, people like him are actually on non-contracts. How much he's getting paid? I mean, he's only getting paid £150 an appearance, so it would really be worth tying players like that down to longer-term deals. We've got Freddie Sears as well, a 3-star striker. He is on a 1-year deal, a good National League North player, which you look at 3 stars and you think, well, that's not that great. This is a good tier 6 player. We're in tier 8. So the difference is absolutely huge. And we've obviously got a couple others we'll name as well. Jack Corley, 32-year-old centre-back. He's 3 stars of current ability. And we've also rounded out with Tyreek Hyde, is a 26-year-old English centre-mid, 2.5 stars. So 2.5 star is leading regional Premier Division. That's tier 7. So our 2.5 star for us is still a leading player in the league above. We 100% should be getting promoted. Weirdly enough, the game has suggested 2 of our worst players should be in the squad. Now, I'm not going to be someone who's I don't influence this. So if they want to play those players, they are free to do so. I can't influence it. All I can do is sign some players and maybe move them on. If I don't like the look of them, I can move them on. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to take a look at the squad, see if there's anyone we don't want, and then we're also going to look to see how much money we've got to bring in some new players. And as you can see, the club is well and truly loaded. For a tier 8 club, this is a lot of money. They have £4 million in the bank. This is crazy money. No debt. So the owner has just put money into the club and that's it. We don't owe the owner anything. We're already spending £5,700 on wages and we've got wage left. And we've got £1.26 million in transfer budget. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to spend that in tier 8. There is no reason to actually spend money in this division. But what thing you can do is move that transfer budget into wage. And all of a sudden, you've got a very, very big wage budget. I mean, we don't even need to use up all of our transfer budget to do it, but we'll do it anyway. And just like that, our wage budget has gone up to 11.5 grand a week. So I think the first thing we need to do is tie down the couple players who are on non-contracts who are probably good to keep, and then go look to see what we can sign. Because as good as the squad is, it probably doesn't need any additions. If there's money to spend, I'm a director of football. I've been given the job to spend it. I'm going to go spend it. So our first piece of business as director of football was tying down Terrell Eggsbury. He's far too good to have him on a non-contract. We didn't want him leaving, so we've tied him onto a 2-year deal. He's only 24 years old. He's already too good for this division. 2 years' time, he'll still be too good for this division, or whatever division we're in by then. So absolutely the right decision. He's going to be paid £550 a week, which is a lot of money, but he's very, very good. So he's tied down for 2 years. First great bit of business, and we are absolutely cooking as DOF already. The fans are already buzzing with me. So the thing that's probably going to be the biggest challenge, at least early on in this save, is actually having the facilities and the club reputation to attract good players. Now, the one thing we do have is lots and lots of money. So we can always offer players who will maybe ask for a ridiculous fee. We can just kind of give them it because we've got a lot of money to spend, as you can see. So realistically, we can just do that. Now, one thing we don't want to do is just hemorrhage the club of money. But even with the money that we're on now, £5 grand a week is about 20 grand a month. That's not even making a debt into the finances. Like, there's a lot of money in the club, and there's money that'll probably come in as we get better and bigger as well. And the other thing is as well, the better we can make the squad, potentially the further we can go in the FA Cup as well. And we all know how important and how much money can be generated from an FA Cup run, especially down at this level. So there's a lot of money here, and we definitely want to spend it. But the first thing we need to do is go through the squad we've got and decide if there's anyone we want to leave. But then second option, or second mission really, is to go through this free agent squad, this free agent list, which we actually need to set the filter on. The free agent list, and basically sort it by world reputation to get a good idea. We won't have anyone scouted just yet. It's obviously day one in the save, but you never know. We might be able to find someone just based on the reputation, but we'll take a look. We'll offer some trials, but first things first, let's go analyze the squad. So basically, one of the things I'm kind of wanting to do is just get rid of players who aren't good enough now, so that there is no option for the assistant manager, for the AI manager, to mess it up. So someone like Zach Littlejohn, the AI and the assistant manager reckons he should be in the squad. Now, in theory, for someone who is a good Isthmian League Division 1 North player, he's actually perfectly reasonable to be at this club. But we have aims to have a much better club than that. So I'm actually going to just release them on a free. The good thing with non-contracts is you can just do that. We don't need to offer them out. We don't need to sell them. So there's really no reason to be too concerned. The other one we're going to move on is Chris Miller. He's only 1.5 stars of current ability. He's actually only a decent player. So he's definitely someone we're going to release as well. And realistically, I think we probably release... we probably don't release anyone else just yet, but as we start to bring more and more players in, there's every chance that we start to sell more on. So if we do the quick pick now with those players gone, it should look a little bit different. Yeah, I guess they're probably just gone. If we go on the tactics screen, there we go. Who are you? Yeah, well, that's fine. You can stay there. So obviously, as we start to bring in more players, different players will come in. They'll fill in different positions. But overall, I think we just need better players in most positions. I think striker's probably the least of my concerns because we actually have a lot of good strikers as is, but we'll leave it for now. We obviously don't, I'm going to touch this too much. There's obviously going to be a lot of different players in and out the squad in pre-season. We'll probably get a good view of it once we actually get to it. And if you like this view, it's actually the Lujo squad view, so you can get this on the Steam Workshop. I really like it because it gives you basically everything you need, how good they're doing during the season, their wage, when it expires, what they're worth, and most importantly, their star rating, because that's obviously a really useful bit of information. So now we've kind of got rid of two of the worst players. We need to go have a look at what we can actually bring in. So as well as the playing staff, we've also got to think about the non-playing staff. So one thing we'll never sign is a director of football. But one thing we are going to make sure we need is scouts and medical team and obviously coaching staff as well. So there is a lot of gaps. We've went out and placed adverts for basically every position that was free. So I'm going to handle the staff recruitment. It's actually something I usually don't even touch. I just let the director of football do it in my other series. But this is something that I definitely want to keep hands-on with in this series, in this challenge, because we need to make sure we've got the best staff in, and we're also pushing the board to get more staff in as we go as well, because it's very important that I keep the best possible staff at the club, and we'll probably rotate them out every couple seasons to make sure we are still with the best scouts and the best physios and the best coaches. Now, as much as we do have lots of money to throw around and we are already trying to bring players in, one thing you've really got to know about this level is basically everyone will be wanted by everyone. So as good as some players are that'll show up, of course, everyone else in and around us and probably teams above us are going to be putting in offers for these players. So it's really unlikely we're probably going to get most of what we put in for. So I'm not going to take up... These episodes would be hours long if we showed you every single player we're offering a contract to. We'll really just show you the ones when they actually get done. And then obviously what we'll do throughout the season is do regular check-ins to see how the fixtures are going. So one thing I did want to mention as well, if you are new to the channel, if you're new to the series or the channel or whatever it may be, please go check out the UK Journeyman save. It is a much more detailed, long-form storytelling sort of series where basically it's your regular sort of Football Manager playthrough. We play through seasons in probably about 5 to 10 episodes a season. We do obviously much more in-depth management of the games and things like that. So it's a regular season. UK Journeyman, we started unemployed, no coaching badges, no experience, no nothing. And the goal is to basically win the Champions League. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go check out the playlist, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy that as well. So after I've been taking a closer look at the squad, I've decided to give a few more players their release. So Ollie Fraser, Dylan Williams, Amin Sassi, and Taven Allen all leave the club on freeze. They were all on non-contracts. As you can see, none of them were really any good. So yes, it lowers the squad now, but it's fine because we're still in pre-season. We've got plenty of time to bring players in. There's also 2 players sitting in the under-21s who aren't going to be good enough, so they've been released as well. Well, our first official signing here at Maldon Tiptree is an absolutely massive one. Ajani Birchall joins us. He is a 20-year-old Bermudan winger. And he is very, very good. We're paying him a boatload of money, £1.5 grand a week on a 2-year deal. He's only 5'4", but he looks very good. He's a leading National League player, so he's one of the best players in Tier 5 with League 1 potential, and we've got him down here at Tier 8. He's from Aston Villa and I guess technically Bournemouth's academy, and we've got him on a 2-year deal, and he looks very, very good. Now, hopefully, he can cook, because obviously I'm in no charge of whether he plays or not, but looking at him, he's unbelievable. If we don't go up, someone else can have him for 46 grand, which, to be fair, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we don't go up to have to sell players. But I think we're going to go up. But that's a huge first signing in the club. Signing number 2 here at the club is Matthew Whittingham. We are paying, obviously, fair bits of wage. He's a centre mid, but really probably more likely a winger. Really not sure where he's going to play, but that's not for me to worry about. He's 3 stars of current ability, which is a good National League North-South player with League 1 potential. He's a very good player. So he's in for 2 years on a 1.3 grand a week deal. Very good signing, formerly of the Man City Academy. So he's got to be good, to be fair. Signing number 3 is Vontae Williams. He is going to be our new left back, English, 20 years old, £950 a week on a 2-year deal. He's a good Tier 6 player with League 2 potential. So he's in. Next to him will be a right back as well that we've just signed. And that right back is Charlie Farr. He's an English 23-year-old right back. He's 2.5 stars of current ability, so a good National League North-South player with potential to be a leading National League player. So another good option. He never actually played a senior game of football, but he's from Villa's Academy, went to Brentford, and now he's here to play in Tier 8. So now with our new signings in, this is how the team looks. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. One thing I forgot to mention with Farr, it is a non-contract. It's £950 a week, but, well, not £950 a week, £950 an appearance. So it is a non-contract, so if someone else did want him during the season, he's free to go. He didn't actually want a part-time deal, which is really odd, but £950 a week on a non-contract is fine. Looking at the squad, I think it's pretty clear we probably need another midfielder, probably another defensive midfielder. Hyde is probably our best option there, who's not a bad player at all, really. But realistically, that's probably priority number 1. Maybe another centre-back. We've got Corley there, who, whilst not bad, is definitely a decent player at 32 years age with no potential. If we can get a younger player in with potential, because obviously Eastman's a little bit older as well, not the quickest player, so he's definitely someone we might look at as a replacement as well. Whilst he may be pretty good technically and mentally, his physicals are going to decline, so maybe two centre-back or maybe 2 centre-backs and a DM is probably our priority. Maybe another striker. We obviously have Freddie Sears at the club as well, who really maybe not good enough. It might be one we try and move on, but yeah, trying to get these players moved on might be difficult. Actually, no space for Whittingham. Realistically, he should probably play DM, but he can't really play DM, so yeah, but Birchall comes in. Edgebury, obviously, we've got a new deal too. We've got Macaulay Bonne. That's looking pretty good. Obviously, we have got Gary Hooper, who is our striker at the minute. Definitely not a bad option and could definitely keep his place, but I think probably a striker. But priority number 1 is a DM and then a centre-back, I think. Another one in the door is a centre-back. We said we probably needed a younger centre-back. We found one. He's not that much younger, but 29-year-old Alex, English centre-back. That's such a weird way to describe him. Alex Finney, 29-year-old English centre-back. He's 6'4", big boy. 3 stars of current ability, so a good National League North-South player. He's just on a non-contract, and we're not actually paying him that much. £310 a week. £310 an appearance, really not a crazy amount. He's been doing the rounds recently around the south. Obviously, he's been to Eastbourne, Ebbsfleet, Aldershot, so Maidstone, QPR, so in and around London and the south coast. So yeah, he's comes from Maldon Tiptree, and hopefully, as you can see, he's dropped quite a few levels to come here. Hopefully, he'll be a good place in our defence. What we said we could do with a new striker and a bit of a younger striker, we found one. 21-year-old English striker Quain Bartley joins the club. It is a non-contract, £500 for an appearance. He's 3 stars of current ability, so a good National League North-South player with League 2 potential. He's played a fair few games in and around this league, to be fair, so it's not really the craziest of signing. Never really scored goals, so we won't put too much pressure on him. Obviously, I think Gary Hooper will probably keep his place, but again, it's not really for me to decide. I'm just the director of football, but I think he's a good player. I think he's worth having in the squad, and if he doesn't do very well, we could just release him because it's a non-contract. So that's why I didn't want to pay anything more than that. He doesn't look good enough to tie down. So he's someone where whether it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever we get out of him, it'll be okay. For some reason, they've auto put him into the under-21s. That's usually a bad sign that he's not good enough for the first team. But I think he's in the first team. He's 3-star. He's a National League North level player. It has to be a tier 8. He has to be in the first side. Another non-contractor in the door is Pharrell Johnson. He's a Jamaican 21-year-old centre-half. 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. Non-contract is £650 an appearance, so quite a bit of money. He's been in and around the lower leagues. He was at Nottingham Forest as a youngster. Went to Swindon, played a whole game in League 2. Went on loan to Truro. Clearly didn't like the world up at Truro because he never got a game. So now he's dropped down to tier 8. So I'm thinking we're spending a lot of money, but I'm a bit worried that some of these players maybe aren't as good as they're scouting, or maybe it's just such a big gap to tier 8 that they're actually going to be really good for us. So just to show you how far and away we are the best team in the league, here's a season preview. We're expected to finish first, and we've got 2 players who are the only players not contracted to us who are in the best 11. So that kind of shows you where we should be doing it. It's a squad, it's a league of 22, sorry. I'll be honest, I haven't heard of a lot of these teams. I know Lowesoft, they used to be around National League level. Obviously, I've heard of a couple of them, but I don't think there's anyone in here that used to be like a former big club. I think Lowesoft's probably the biggest club I know by name. So very much so, we should be winning the league, and it shouldn't even be close. With all the new centre-backs joining us, it only made sense to release one that we didn't really need. He was on a non-contract, so Jack Corley has left the club. He was a little bit worse than the other ones we signed. They were on non-contracts anyway, but I think, yeah, there's no point keeping players around. I know it isn't harm to keep a non-contract in the squad, but I think if we needed to, if our other non-contractors are starting to get interest, we can always tie them down. So he's left the club. I think we've got better, younger replacements in anyway. So this was a bit of an odd one, but a youngster's come up and we had to sign him. He signed a youth contract originally, but it is already on a professional deal. So it's a 3-year deal, actually nearly a 4-year deal till 2029. He's 3 stars of current ability, big potential, and this could be a huge signing. He could be with us for the long haul. He's 15 years old, Dwight Blake, English striker. Just appeared in the game. He's just very relatively unknown. So he's going to sit in the under-21s, but I really don't think it'll be long. I mean, I think we just get him into the first team now. I'd rather usually wait, but with him being like too good for the level anyway, we might as well just get him involved now. So one player's left the club. It's Matt Yates. He was really just not good enough. A right back. He was at the club. He was actually tied down to a proper contract. We're having to pay a whole £15 of his wage, which is thankfully only a 1-year deal. So thankfully we're not spending too much on him. But yeah, he was at the club already when we got here. He really wasn't very good. I don't know why he doesn't show up. Yeah, because it looks like he was never here. But he was here. I guarantee you he was here. So he's left us. But yeah, we didn't really need him. The squad at the minute is looking good. I think we've probably got a few too many strikers. We've probably got a couple too many players. So we are looking at potentially trying to move on Sears and Dunn. Probably don't need Sears. He's a little bit too old, a little bit too expensive. But he's probably someone we'll just have to keep for the year. Can't imagine anyone else is going to pay £550 a week for the boy. Dunn, I don't mind keeping, but we don't really play with the centre mid, which is why I kind of want to just get rid of him. But if he gets involved at some point, I don't mind. But you know, if he gets placed, I would rather he played a DM, but I'm not the coach. I can't make those decisions. So I think for now the squad's looking good. I still want another defensive midfielder to sit next to James. Other than that, though, I'm pretty happy with the squad. I think the only thing I would really like to sign is if just an unbelievable player came through the door, like a really good right back or something. But honestly, even a 2.5-star player for us is very good. So I think we're more than ready for the start of the season. We have done pretty well in pre-season. As you can see, we had a pretty close game to Colchester and then won 3 on the bounce. We've got 1 more left before we get into the season. So we'll see how we get on when we get there. But yeah, we'll obviously come back before the first game of the season. But yeah, I think we're pretty much good to go. We've obviously still got money to spend, so it's good to keep it. Good players usually come up during the season anyway, so we're not desperate to sign them now. But I think the main thing really is a DM. But if it doesn't come up, I think Hyde's good enough. I think that what we've got now is good enough to start anyway. So one another thing we've sorted off the pitch is we've got a full complement of staff now. So we've got everything in the scouting department. We've got all of our coaches, all of the medical staff. Obviously, we'll always leave the DOF open because that's my job. So we'll leave that open, but everything else is now full, which is great. So we've reached the first actual league game of the season. So obviously the way friendlies work in Football Manager, you can basically just assign your assistant to do it and they'll go off and do it and you don't even actually get any sort of screen before the matches. When it comes to real matches, that's a little bit different. So there's two ways you can do it. Now you can either instant result, which kind of is you playing, but kind of isn't because you're not making any of the subs. You're not really doing anything tactic-wise. The other aspect is to holiday. I don't really like holidaying because sometimes weird things happen when you holiday where you just get some odd stuff that holiday with holiday. And so what I think I'm going to do, and let me know if you feel like you would rather me just holiday. But one thing I've kind of done is just chucked a tactic in based on what worked in another save. And if it's kind of just standard, it's a 4-2-4, it's attacking, it kind of works for what we would expect. Now, obviously, I shouldn't really be controlling that, but the game doesn't not let you have a tactic in. You have to have a tactic. So what I'll basically do, though, is I won't be just using the default tactic. So before every game, I'm going to go to advice, I'm going to go to tactics, I'm going to go to upcoming match, and basically apply all the advice. So this is everything the assistant manager, who essentially is going to be the manager, he thinks we should do some team instructions. I'm just going to apply all advice, and then basically he's just gone and done that. So that's changed something in the tactic, it's changed the mentality, or it'll change some of the instructions, the shape, the player roles, all that sort of stuff. The next thing I'm going to do is go the selection and basically ask to use a suggested squad. Make sure that we're not, so basically he'll basically just pick whatever squad he thinks is best. I, looking at it, would agree this is probably what I'd play. I maybe wouldn't be starting Gary Hooper. I'd maybe be starting Blake because he's obviously got lots of potential, or Bartley. He's not even included Bartley in the squad. So this is where I can't control that, though. He wants Gary Cooper. Whatever happened to Gary Hooper? Whatever happened to Gary Hooper is he's in the starting lineup. I wouldn't have personally chose him, but it's not my decision. So we go with that. If that doesn't really give me the best squad, I'll also just click quick pick, which I think is pretty much his opinion anyway. So if you do quick pick, it's basically just his suggestion of what would be best. And that's basically it. I think there's some advice for upcoming opposition and things, but I don't think that actually gives you any sort of... it's basically just reports. So it doesn't actually give you anything. I think the only thing that you could do is tactics evaluation, but that's more of a general thing. So basically before every game, I'm going to ask for the suggested squad. I'm going to ask for what he thinks tactically we should be doing. I'll apply it all, even if I don't agree with it. And then basically I'm just going to instant result. So we'll instant result the first game together to see how that uses. We're not using a match plan. So that means with the match plan, you can set up things like who you want subbed and when. I don't want to control that. We're basically just simulating it, and whatever happens, happens. If we lose, we win, whatever it may be. We won, but we actually only won 5-3, which is a little bit odd. You would think we would pretty much dominate, but I guess we scored lots of goals, which is good. So we did win the game, which is great, but I wasn't expecting to concede 3 goals. So there's something for me to take in. Do we need better defenders, better goalkeepers? Obviously, it's only one game. Obviously, the other thing is as well, dynamics. The team getting used to playing each other. We've obviously signed a lot of new players, so it's very interesting to see how it'll work. And clearly, he had a better decision than me because Gary Hooper scored 2 goals. And one of them was a penalty. Macaulay Bonds scored 2. Tom Eastman scored 1. So I think that was a good decision by him. But we are top of the league after game 1. We've got the FA Cup as well. I think there's some other cups as well down here. So we'll go ahead. We'll go off camera. Obviously, play a few games. I won't play a few games, but we'll skip a few games ahead and maybe do catch-ups. 5 games in, 15 games in, January, and then somewhere near the end of the season. We'll basically just catch up when I feel it would be useful to have a catch-up, and we'll just go through the results and see how he's doing. Now, obviously, that is part of my job, to keep an eye on results, as much as my job is to, in between the games, go and try and improve the team and do whatever. for a certain period of time, that'll just be the team playing games and I don't need to do stuff. I just need to check the results, who's playing well, who's not. So if I go look in the tactics screen, I can see Johnson didn't have a great game, Justin didn't have a great game. So, it's only one game, but keep an eye on that sort of stuff. If consistently players aren't doing very well, that's where I need to go out and find a better centre-back or a better goalkeeper. And then hopefully that should, improve the team. But in terms of me, hands-on, it's going to be very hands-off. And that's basically what the Director of Football Challenge is all about. Well, 10 games into the season, and as you can see, things are going pretty well. We've won 9 out of 10 games. We have had the one loss, but that must have just been a bit of a one-off. As you can see, we are massively too good for the league. We've scored 39 goals, just the 12 conceded, which does put us top of the league. There's a couple teams around us who are also doing pretty well, like Tilbury, Grays Athletic, but as you can see, we have got like 4 and 3 games in hand over them. The closest one really is Felixstowe and Walton United, 4 points behind, but they've played an extra game as well. There's only a couple teams who've played less games than us. I assume it's just because we've had fairly deep cup runs, but one of the cup runs we haven't had that's been so deep is actually the FA Cup. We won the preliminary round, but then we actually went out in the first qualifying round to Barton Rovers, who play in the Southern League Division 1 Central, which I think is like level with us. I think they're also tier 8. So it's kind of a team around our level, but yeah, that was very disappointing. The board really, really not happy with that, that we went out with so early in the FA Cup. They actually wanted us to get to the first round proper, which is quite a big expectation considering, you've got to think that's like when National League teams and things come in. I'm still trying to find my way around, all of the, whatever. I'm trying to find my way around it, but I'm still learning. I'm over 100 hours now, and I'm still trying to learn the objectives. There we go. There they are. So they wanted us to be in the FA Cup proper, and we've obviously failed that. So they're really not happy with that. But in the other cups, we are progressing in those as well. Obviously not as important. We're still in the Isuzu FA Trophy. We're still in the FA Trophy, so we're in the first round of that proper. We did actually get Barton Rovers again in that competition. We beat them 2-0. We're also seeing something called the Velocity Cup. I don't really know what this is. I think it's just some sort of local tournament thing close to Maldon and Tiptree, or maybe it's a competition for teams around this level of the game. I don't know. But yeah, we're still in that, whatever that is. I don't think there's even any money for winning it, really. You get $2,500. So really not much, no real point in that. I think obviously the trophy is a little bit more money if you get to the end. 60k is not bad, is it? So would definitely be worth us trying to go far in that, and at least it keeps the board happy as well. But overall, the league is where we need to be, and as you can see, we are dominating the league. We scored plenty of goals, and just to show you sort of how we've been getting on with who's been scoring the goals, if we jump to the tactics screen, that's where you can see goals. Gary Hooper is really, really doing well. I was not sure about the manager starting him, but fair play, he's done really well. 6 goals in 10 league appearances so far. Ajani Birchall obviously is doing really well as well. Just the 2 goals, but 5 assists, so 7 goal contributions in 10 games. We've also got the youngster Blake. He's actually doing quite well. 8 goal contributions in 10 games. And then we've also got Macaulay Bonn, who has actually picked up a bit of an injury. The one thing with the FA Cup game, Hooper and Macaulay Bonn were both injured, which is probably why we didn't do so well. But he's also banging them in. He's actually got 8 contributions in just 3 games. It's just he's been away on internationals, and then he's been out with like a torn hamstring, which funnily enough, a torn hamstring was only 9 weeks. I'm pretty sure a torn hamstring would take longer than that to get back with. But another one who's doing well is Egbury. He's got 9 goal contributions in 8, so we've definitely got a very good team. We're not conceding many goals. Our right back's actually got 8 assists as well. So overall, things are going really, really well. I'll be surprised if we do anything except win the league. Transfer-wise as well, we have made a couple of signings, obviously free transfers. First one is James Hilson. He's just a backup goalkeeper on a non-contract, 24-year-old. £230 if he makes an appearance, £75 to just sit on the bench. He's 2.5 stars of current ability, which would be more than good enough to actually be a starting goalkeeper for us, but we've got a better goalkeeper anyway. So he's our new second choice goalkeeper. We've got a new DM in. We have managed to find one, Jack Sowerby. He signed on a deal till the end of the season, £775 a week. He's a leading National League player, so has a really good pickup for us. As you can see, it had a very, very good start as well, down in tier 8. And the last one is just a backup right back, Alexander McQueen, 30-year-old Grenadian. I think that's Granada. It is Granada. He joins on a non-contract as well, £170 for an appearance, 40 quid to sit on the bench, and yeah, he's just a backup right back. We didn't have another right back behind Far, so yeah, just 3 signings. We're still obviously looking to sign more if they become available, but I think the squad we've got is more than capable of achieving what we need to this year. Okay, so we've reached January, which doesn't really mean too much at this level of football. Obviously, transfer windows open all year round, but it's a good point to check in. And as you can see, we are now 26 games into the league season. We are still top of the league, but we've not really ran away with it as much as I was expecting to. We've had quite a few draws, a couple of losses as well. And it does obviously make a bit of a decision for me in terms of appointing the assistant manager. Obviously, he's the one really running the squad. He's the one, picking the side and the tactics and what have you. And I would say that this is probably, I mean, it sounds harsh because we've scored 77 goals and only conceded 27. But I would say this is probably the bare minimum that we'd expect. We really shouldn't be doing anything worse than finishing top. And realistically, we probably should have been close to an unbeaten season. So... yeah, 7 points clear at the top. Everyone's kind of played the same amount of games now. We had a busy December period. Other teams had even busier ones. So I still think we'll win the league. I still think we'll go up as champions. But it does sort of already put a little bit of doubt into my mind of how long we stick with the assistant manager. Because as we go further and further up the leagues, is he going to actually keep improving? Is he going to be good enough to actually manage us in tier 6, in tier 5, in tier 4, etc., etc.? So... yeah, it's a little bit of a different one. It's a little bit of a difficult one, but I think for now we obviously, we don't need to start getting trigger happy sacking managers. I think it's only if we're below expectations. We are meeting expectations, which is great. And as you can see with the fixtures, it was a little bit of a dark period, I guess, around late October. We went out in the Cup. We went out in the FA Trophy to Folkestone Invicta, which was a bit poor. Lost a league game after that as well. I think we're still in the Velocity Cup. We're in the quarterfinals of that, so if we win that, that'll be nice, but it's really not something I care about. But overall, we're doing really well, and I guess it's really just the odd results here and there. I've been cooking. Director of Football Business has been continuing on, so I've extended the contracts of a few players. So Justin's got a new contract till 2027. He's actually taken quite the wage decrease. He's on £1,000 a week, and what am I trying to say? By extending it, he's actually dropped his wage by £400. So even though we do have a lot of money to spend, if we can get players on cheaper deals, it's a no-brainer. Pharrell Johnson's got a new contract. He's running now till end of next season on £360 a week. Vontae Williams was already on that deal. Cameron James is someone I've offered an extension to. He's not the best player, and I think we could probably get a better one next year, but he didn't want too much wage, £340. So he's extended. I think we have offered a contract to Sowerby. I just don't know if it's gone through yet. Yeah, we've offered a contract to Sowerby to extend. I don't think it's gone through yet, but he should be tied down to next season as well. Edgebree's tied down. Birchall was already tied down. Obviously, we've got Blake on a long-term deal. Gary Hooper, I've offered a new contract to as well. So he's going to be extending. I think he's also taken a little bit of a wage decrease, which is good. But as you can see, these players are doing really well. We've got 19 goals and 31 for Hooper, 13 and 18 starts for Blake. Obviously, he's made quite a few sub-appearances as well. 9 goals, 12 assists for Birchall, 13 goals, 7 assists for Edgebury. Macaulay Bonne is one who's just so in and out the side because he goes away on internationals a lot, but when he has played, he's been brilliant. 20 goal contributions in 20 games. He basically gives a goal contribution every game. And then as you can see, there's other players in and around the side like Hyde, Senior, Sowerby, James, the fullbacks are getting a fair few assists as well. So yeah, everyone's contributing. I think everyone's doing pretty well. Maybe the goalkeeper in the centre mid, James and Justin are probably the weakest of the lot, but overall I think they're doing well. I don't think we need to really be worried too much. I do consider maybe tying down Charlie Farr to a better deal, but he's only a leading regional player, which is only the league above, so he's probably a position we'd probably try to improve on next season anyway. I don't think we'll do probably too much till the end of the season. If a player comes up, then we'll get them. I think there's no point really releasing anyone. We have sold a player Freddie Sears has left the club. He's went to Ebbsfleet on a free transfer. We just let him go for free. He wasn't playing for us. He was on about £550 a week as well. So to get him gone and basically, yeah, just get his wage off when we've got better strikers anyway, that was good. I'm probably going to let Eastman's contract run out. He has been good. He is still a good player. But at 34 years old, he's going to be 35 next season. And as you can see, like his physicals are just going to keep getting worse. He has been good. It's one I'm kind of debating on. But now I'm going to just let it run till the end of the season. He is still a leading National League North-South player. So he is like our best centre-back. But I just think with his physicals, probably going to get even worse. They're already pretty poor in terms of speed. It does make me think, should we maybe just let him go and try to get a younger centre-back in next season? But it's what I'm still debating on. There's every chance I offer him a new contract as well. So we'll just kind of see on that one. But what we'll probably do is continue on now, get to probably close to the end of the season, and then come back probably actually by the end of the season, because there's not that much left to play. So we'll come back at the end of the season, and hopefully I come back with the news of promotion. So we have reached the end of the season, and I'm happy to say we have won the league. We did finish top as champions, and as you can see, based on the results, we have been in pretty good form to end the season. So we are promoted. That means we're going from the 8th tier to the 7th tier, and that will be the next episode, will be our season in the 7th tier. But overall, we've absolutely bossed. We also won the Velocity Cup as well, a nice little extra bonus. Again, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing really for it. You don't really get too much money either, but it was just a nice little bonus. So we do have 2 trophies in the locker. Season 1 done. Obviously, we are director of football, but I'm counting them. So 2 trophies in the door. We are also just doing some badges. The only reason, obviously I'm not actually managing the club, the only reason I'm doing the badges is that as we progress up the leagues, this club will kind of expect managers to have certain badges, and it just makes it more, it just kind of keeps me more in line. I don't know if director of footballs can do badges. I guess they could really, but yeah. Finance wise, we are down to 3.2 million, which is about £800,000 loss for the season. So pretty substantial. Obviously not a lot of income into this level. I think going out so early in the FA Cup really harmed us. I think next season that's got to be something we massively really focus on, is the FA Cup. Obviously I think we want to be getting promoted anyway, back to back, but I think the FA Cup, we've got to start doing something. Some other bits off the field as well. We are actually going professional as well. So all the way down in tier 7, we will be a professional club as of next season. So that's huge. Once we got promotion, that was it. We just went professional. So we are going to be a professional club from next season, which is great. I've also signed a new deal to the end of next season as well. So I'll be still director of footballing for quite a bit longer. One other thing that happened as well, there was actually a board takeover, but for some reason, it doesn't seem anything's really changed. They've not really scrapped the professional status stuff. They've not invested extra money, but they've not taken out money. There's no, they haven't given me less money. We've got our budgets for next season. We've got £1 million transfer budget and 13 grand wage available, which is about 25 grand total wage. So we've got plenty of money to work with. So then it's kind of like a promotion within sort of thing. I think if we go to the club history, where is the club history? So many clicks to get where you want to go. Yeah, we've had it says a new chairperson and the owner's left, but it's not really anything too different. It's not a tycoon takeover. It's nothing like that. So I think there's still going to be just as much investment. I was a little bit worried because it was kind of putting the whole series in disrepute. Is that the word? I don't know. But it was making me concerned about the series. So obviously the goal, well, the idea is that we're taking over a team that's going to have a lot of investment. So we should be, at least early on, able to rise up. Obviously, once we get into about the football league stage, this sort of investment's pretty standard. So at that point, we're really just managing a normal side. But for these early seasons, it is a big advantage. And obviously, it has been a big advantage for us. But yeah, it seems like nothing's going to change there. So we are getting promoted. We will be in the regional Premier Division next season, which is basically just one step away from National League North and South. So if we get promoted next season, that will be us. I think we'll be in the Isthmian League Premier Division next season. So we'll be with teams like, if we could take a look at it, we'll be with teams like Hashtag, very interesting. Billericay, Brentwood, Dulwich Hamlet, so Dartford. So it's teams we've probably started to know a little bit more of. You've probably heard of a little bit more. So we'll see what we play next season. But yeah, that's where we're going to be next season. That's going to be next episode. Just to wrap up, obviously, how well the squad's done and any other extra director of football stuff. So we haven't given Eastman a new contract. He's decided to leave basically at the end of his deal, so he's going to go, which is fair enough. Everyone else is pretty much tied down. We did sign a couple new players, and we have released a couple as well. I don't think any more contracts was pretty much already things I'd talked about, so I don't think there's anything new. We have signed 2 new players in from the youth recruitment. Okeem Hewlett is a 16-year-old defender. He's in just on a youth deal. Obviously, just not that great now, but obviously big potential. So we'll keep him around. And then there was another one as well, Mark Brooks. He got signed to a youth deal as well. So those 2 came through the youth recruitment. Nothing else was really any good. I think transfer history will be the best place to go. So in terms of exits, we did also let Louis Dunn go. So he went to the University College of Dublin. So he's left the club, but we weren't really using him. Tyreek Hyde was another one. We weren't really using him once we'd signed other players. He went to Maidstone of National League South, which is a good sign that our backup players are going to much higher divisions. We've signed 3 players since the end of the season. We got Shea Alexander. He is a 31-year-old fullback. He can basically play on the right or the left. He signed on a deal to the end of next year as well. 3 stars of current ability, so he's a leading player in the National League North and South. So he's a leading player in the league above the one we're actually going to go to. And this one was a hell of a signing. Cavan Williams is a 23-year-old English forward, £500 a week till the end of next season. 4 stars of current ability, so he's a leading National League player. And he's not actually someone that was out without a club. He was actually our first signing from a proper club. For some reason, he was over in the Southern Counties division, where he was obviously doing absolute bits. We picked up on that. The scouts picked up on that and recommended him. And yeah, it was a no-brainer. We were able to sign him on a free because he was on a non-contract. So we definitely ruined their season, Phoenix Sports. But we've definitely done West. He actually was bought by Nice. So that shows you the sort of potential they thought that he had. In the end, obviously, it didn't turn out. But yeah, he's very good. Obviously, a goal contribution a game. He's going to be massive for us next season. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We did, I think, did we not release? I think we released a couple of players as well, but they don't show up. Yeah, we released a few as well. Alexander McQueen left because we just didn't need him. Courtney Senior left, another one. We just weren't using him. We signed better players now. He was pretty good, to be fair, but we don't need him. He was on a non-contract, so he's gone. Who were the other ones that we released? And then Quayne Bartley was a striker. Once we signed that Williams, we really didn't need him. He barely played. He was on a non-contract, so we just released him. Keep the squad happy. There's no point having players who aren't playing. So we've got a squad of 19. We did sign this lad on loan as well. Forgot to mention him, Kai Martin. We actually have an affiliate with Colchester, so it's something I've basically just been keeping an eye on when the reports have come in. He was really good. He is out of contract at the end of the season. I tried to buy him for like 20 grand, but he didn't want to sign a contract. But now that we're promoted and going professional, he's definitely someone I'll be trying to bring in. Whether it's I think we'll just probably wait till his contract runs out and offer him a contract. But he's a good National League player with League One potential at only 18. He's definitely someone I'd like to sign. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we'll sign him. But yeah, overall, things very, very good. As you can see, Macaulay Bonne absolutely destroying the league. 36 goals in 37 games. Gary Hooper, 22 goals in 37 games. Edgebury, 15 goals, 16 assists. Dwight Blake, even the youngster, 19 goals across the season. And a lot of them are off the bench as well. So really happy with him. I think he's obviously got potential. Birchall, I mean, lots of goal contributions there. So we really don't need to probably do a lot next season. It's probably going to be more the midfield and the defence. I think the attack, we probably don't need any more strikers or any more wingers. I think we'll try and bring Martin in. But if not, we've still got Edgebury, who's 3.5 stars of current ability. So definitely more than good enough for the division we're going into. So yeah, I think realistically, we probably just need some defenders, probably a centre-back or 2, maybe a better goalkeeper. I mean, Justin, we have offered a new contract to. He's still pretty good. So we'll probably just keep him. So maybe a new goalkeeper, maybe a right back. Obviously, I think Alexander's probably, if we do quick pick, they actually think Far's better. I'm not sure about that. I would definitely be playing Alexander over Far. He is on a non-contract. He's wanted by Hornchurch, so he may leave. I'm not too fussed if he does. But yeah, I think overall we're good. Obviously, Eastman's going, so we will need another centre-back. We'll probably move you to the... Well, no, I think he's in the under-21s. Someone like... I mean, there's other players who we may let go next season, but that's going to be next season. We'll decide this stuff. There's a couple of players I'm debating on just releasing, so we'll think about that next season. But that is going to do it for Season 1, Episode 1 here in the Maldon Tiptree Director of Football Challenge. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if there's any sort of suggestions on how we can improve this series, how we can improve the videos, if there's anything you want to see more of, if you want to see like highlights and stuff from the games, or if you prefer just to get the catch up because it is a Director of Football Challenge. We're not meant to be actually watching the games. So yeah, just let me know if there's anything you can think of. Otherwise, just let me know if you've enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said before, go check out the other series that I'm doing, the UK Journeyman, if you are new to the channel. But videos like this, or this series, should I say, will come out a little bit less frequently than that because it takes obviously a little bit longer to get through a whole season. It also takes time to edit them because there's so many clips, there's so many jumps, so especially with the transfers early on in the season. So yeah, it takes a lot more time to film, it takes a lot more time to edit, so they'll probably come out maybe once every other week. It really just depends. Maybe once a week, once every other week. I'll just kind of bring them out as I can. At the most, it'll be one a week. So it should be in a week's time or 2 weeks' time. We'll get a next episode. But yeah, make sure you subscribe so you do see that. And like I say, go check out the UK Journeyman because that's the one that gets filmed and released a lot more frequently, about 4 to 5 a week of those. So yeah, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all for more of the Director of Football Challenge very soon.